on here in forever, but I had some things that I wanted to share about how I am listening to my body more intuitively, especially over these last couple of months. But really, this has been an evolving journey for the past several years. I think that I really started to tune into my body more earlier, well, not this year, last year. It was April when I started a gut health program. And during that gut health program, I eliminated some foods for a while and I reintroduced them in a methodic way to see what foods were really irritating me and just not making me feel good. I will say that during that 6 to 8 week process, I have never felt better. I've been on this healthy lifestyle journey for the last 8 years, and that is the best overall that I felt outside of when I very first started. Because when you first start, like, that's when you feel amazing. You're feeling like all these changes happening to your body, and that part was great. But you go through ebbs and flows, and it really is all about figuring your way, finding your way through it. And so when I did gut health last year, I felt better than I had in a really long time, we'll say that. But for me, there are still some foods that I know don't necessarily work the greatest for my body. My body doesn't like them all that much. But I still want to enjoy them every once in a while. So that was like the next phase of my journey, was figuring out how to incorporate as much balance into that process as possible while still keeping in mind, okay, like I know that like definitely without a doubt, any type of fried food, it just doesn't work for me. And I don't eat a lot of fried food anyway, but occasionally, you do. So that's something that I know that if I want to enjoy something, I'm going to enjoy it in a very, very small amount. Same with certain types of dairies. There are certain types of dairies that don't work well for the way my stomach feels and also what happens with my skin. So that was the next phase, was figuring out, okay, how can I incorporate some of the foods that I really, really don't want to totally give up, but I don't want to feel like crap either. And then I also went through this similar process with my workouts. So a little over a year ago, I did a program that incorporated mobility into the week, midweek, which I had never done before. None of our prior programs had ever had an active recovery, like a stretch day, in the middle of the week. And I learned that my body actually really responded to that really well. And all the soreness, the extreme soreness that I was feeling from doing certain programs, especially when I was lifting heavier, that started to subside. My body never felt better from that perspective. So you combine that with, eating a balanced, nutritious diet, having a little fun too. You never want to deprive yourself. Like, that's definitely not what I'm here to do. And certainly not what I'm here to preach, is deprivation, but definitely having a balanced lifestyle. So all of those things combined, I was feeling so good. And so I took pieces of that as I went into new fitness programs. Even if they didn't incorporate an active recovery day in the middle of the week, I started incorporating that because I found that with that one program, my body really needed that. It needed a reset in the middle of the week before I took on the rest of the workouts. And then I started adding some stretches at night to give myself a little bit, my lighting changed, to give myself a little bit of just some extra TLC before I went to bed. And when we're laying in bed all night, it's a great time for our bodies to recover. That's why sleep is so important. But we're also just laying there, and without movement, our bodies can get a little bit, they can feel a little stuck when you get up in the morning, especially if you sleep a certain way or whatever. But adding that stretch in at night really started to help. And then some foam rolling for my upper back. If you don't know already, I definitely have been prone to headaches my entire life. When I am eating better for what my body desires, and when I'm listening to my body overall, I do get less headaches. The stretching, all of that helps. But what I was finding is that I was still going through phases where those headaches would come back. So what I started to do next was I actually started to really pay attention to what my body wanted as far as lifting went. So instead of lifting super heavy and always challenging myself, like, yeah, you can go heavier, just because that seemed like the next right thing to do, I realized that that actually wasn't working for me anymore. I'm hitting an age where, I'm starting to go through some pre-menopausal changes, and our bone structure does start to break down. Like from the age of 30 and on, we do start to lose some of our bone structure. It gets weaker. So it's really important for us to continue to strength train, to stay, continue to be strong, but we also have to balance that with like, okay, we know we're losing some of that, so maybe we need to take it a little bit easier. Maybe we need to incorporate some of these active recovery days. So again, another step in the journey, I started to realize like, okay, going heavy and, always increasing my weight and always looking to do that isn't necessarily the right thing for me to do. I just posted some stories about this today, actually, that I've noticed as I'm really listening and tuning into my body and what it needs. There are some moves that I do with weights that I just know, like, okay, I need to go lighter on this, and I listen. But then there are other moves that I'm like, ooh, I think I can go a little heavier on this. So I'm balancing it out, going lighter on some, going heavier on others. And I'm noticing that, again, my body is responding really well to that. I'm actually going heavier on some of the moves than I ever thought that I could. But it's requiring a balance of some of the other things where I maybe have tried to challenge myself a little bit too hard in the past, and I need to lighten up a little bit. So that is another thing that I have been paying attention to. And then finally, I'm also taking the next step in my nutrition journey again. And I'm really trying to be more intuitive with my hunger signals and my fullness signals. And the phrase and the term is thrown around a lot. It's called intuitive eating. And I don't know that everybody really knows exactly what that is, and I'm not going to go into that here, but I have so much knowledge from the nutrition programs that we have with the programs that I follow that I have learned over the years, and I love those programs, and I have learned so much about food. And again, that gut health program, that was one of our programs. I learned so much about what my body really craves and needs, and vice versa. But the next step of the journey for me is learning how to identify when I really need to eat, when my body really is truly hungry, as opposed to maybe following the structure of a program that tells me how much I should eat throughout the day. So that is the next step in my nutrition journey that I'm really starting to tune into, that I'm super excited about. And we all have this innate ability to understand when our bodies are hungry and full, but we lose them over the years through things like dieting. And not that that's what I was doing prior to this, but we live in a diet culture. And So through that, and just through all of the processed foods and all of the, confusing marketing that we get on food labels and online, and through, influencers online, we start to forget what it's like to feel truly hungry and actually respond to that. And also to understand when we're getting full and how to respond to that. Like, okay, it's time to stop eating because your body I'm getting full. So that's the next thing that I've been doing. And I just wanted to share all of this because it's not just about one thing. It's not just about, it's not this general comment of listen to your body. It really is tuning in and truly listening to what your body needs. I thought for sure that when I got these aligners, if you can tell I'm talking a little differently, I thought for sure when I got these aligners, and especially sleeping overnight, my teeth are shifting, all the things are shifting around in my mouth. And the fact that I am prone to headaches, I thought for sure that I was going to get some killer headaches in the morning and just, in general throughout the day. And up until a couple of weeks ago, and this was before the aligners, I was actually getting headaches again. It was really frustrating because I was doing all of this stuff that I'm telling you guys about, but for whatever reason, my body just wasn't responding to all of it the same way. So I, have made some of these other changes with my workouts in particular, and not lifting as heavy, really listening to when I need to go lighter, still doing my stretches, still doing my rolling. And I shared last week that one of the things that I've been doing is a rotation of heat and ice throughout the day. So I'm just continuing to try new things. And I thought for sure, though, that I was going to get these major headaches. And guess what? I haven't. And I'm shocked for somebody who's prone to headaches, for, all of the shifting that's probably already occurring in my mouth. I thought for sure I was going to get them, and I'm not, because again, I'm trying new things. I am experimenting. I'm listening. I'm really tuning in. And that's just what we have to do sometimes. We can't be afraid to change it up. We can't be afraid to, just listen to ourselves, listen to our intuition when it comes to our bodies, and not always follow what the program says, or what the guidance says, or what online says and all the influencers say. Like, sometimes we really have to stop and think about what really works for us. What is going to make us feel our best? And these last couple of weeks, since I really started pulling all of this together as one, I have to say that, again, I haven't felt this good since probably when I did that gut health program last year. And it's just, it feels really good to feel good. So if you have any questions about any of the things that I have mentioned here, gut health, intuitive eating, listening to your body when it comes to workouts and the weights that you're lifting, the heat and ice, headaches, any of that. If you have any questions, and I actually got a book too that I'll share as well. It's Secret Language of Your Body, that I'm starting to read as well. So it's just another thing that I'm adding on, and I'm taking pieces of what works and discarding the rest with all of this. So if you have any questions about any of it, if you need help, if you just want to feel better, if you just have been feeling like crap, I understand. I've been there. But if you want to feel better and you need some support, you need some guidance, send me a message. I am happy to help. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.